got the current president, the Smooths and state dinner, got the Clintons. Why is another former president having to do a state dinner with the current president, by the way? I think that's strange. But in contrast, just like when we showed you the funeral with Donald Trump there with the people mourning with them as Joe Biden did with all the celebrities across the street, Donald Trump went to Chick-Fil-A yesterday and was talking with the workers, and it was such an organic moment because you had all these people that obviously knew the president was there, but were Trump's
milkshakes and also some chicken, and we're going to take care of the customers. Is business good? Making a lot of money? Everyone can get rich, right?
So he asked, are you a Republican? And she said yes. Had she said no, would he still have ordered the 30 milkshakes?
I think he was talking about, did one of the workers have a nose ring? And that's what he was saying. That's beautiful. It's art. And he pointed to his nose.
Right.
I love when Trump does this kind of stuff. It's so funny. And we've seen him do it before. Remember after his first court appearance, he went to that Cuban restaurant.
That's right.
Cuban food for everybody. Now it's Chick-fil-A and milkshakes for everybody.
So the second part of it I thought was really telling. Number one, unscripted. You have a very scripted press conference in the Rose Garden with the Chinese prime minister, and he has the questions, he's got the answers, he's scrambling to find out the order. Then you have another guy who walks into a fast food restaurant in downtown Atlanta and just says, let me order some of the food you have and let me just smile and find out what the people think. I don't know how this could go. If it went bad, there were plenty of cameras.
100%.
But not only did it go good dealing with the people behind the camera, I could see the raw feed. When he went up to Michaela Montgomery, he had another extemporaneous conversation. Listen to this exchange that even USA Today had to write up as a positive.
So I don't care what the media tells you, Mr. Trump. We support you.
We love you.
Okay, 4 p.m. We've been 4 p.m.
Come here, let me give you a hug.
Please do.
If you're not familiar with that song, you should log on and find the original. Maybe we'll play the original. It's very, very nice. It's very, very nice. It's exactly the song that Donald Trump was singing yesterday, and we'll cover it all today, Thursday, April 11th, 2024. Trump raises $15 million in Heroes Welcome to Fulton County in Fannie's Big Back Yard, where he was swarmed by supporters at Chick-fil-A. Biden drags Hillary and Bill Clinton back to the White House for cringe state dinner, and Anna Paulina Luna joins the show, one of the sharpest congresswomen in the country. My name is Benny Johnson, and this is The Benny Show. We are 100% pro-life on this channel. We wish to not just say that, though, but to act out that belief, and it's really important, obviously, to support life and the culture of life. This is a moral question. This is not a political question. This is why we're proud to partner with Preborn. Preborn is here to change our nation and the way that we see the unborn and the way that we see life. Every single day, Preborn's network of clinics rescues 200 babies. 200 babies are truly miraculous. Their work has only begun. By the time I finish this life-saving message, 2 babies will be aborted in the United States alone. Will you join Preborn and my show in helping provide free ultrasounds to mothers considering abortions? This is really, really important stuff. You need to see, obviously, the miracle of life. And they try and hide this, especially in a world of technological advances that are miraculous. Ladies and gentlemen, Preborn is an amazing company that is giving life. There's not many of those. To help save a baby, just dial pound 250 and say the word baby. That's pound 250, say the word baby to donate securely at preborn.com/Benny. Preborn.com/Benny. All right, so I want to walk into the history books with you this morning and show you something that I think directly led to the title President Trump. Now, we are able to say President Trump forever. I don't care what they throw at the guy. I don't care how much mud they sling, how many jail sentences they try to push on him, how many charges they try and bring. I don't care what they do to the guy. He will always be President Trump. He will always have Secret Service with him. He will always ride in armored cars. He's our president. He beat Hillary Clinton. And there are so many reasons why he beat Hillary Clinton, but I would argue that the number one reason was that beer test, right? It's a classic test in all of American politics. Who would you rather have a beer with? Who would you rather sit down and have a beer? I'm not a fan of George W. Bush. But listen, people, like, would you rather hang with George W. Bush or John Kerry? I don't like either of them, actually. The older I get, the wiser I get. I think both of them are awful. But the reality is that people felt like George Bush was more of a human being. And people feel like Donald Trump, which is just the magic of Trump, actually, and the genius of Trump. And if Trump has a superpower, this is it. They feel like Donald Trump is them. And how is that possible with a billionaire who has his name on golden skyscrapers across the land? How is that possible when a guy owns his own 747? How is that possible? I don't know. But it's true. It's real. And we've seen it before. When Donald Trump, who just a couple weeks ago clinched the Republican nomination, was facing a much harsher battle in 2016 for the Republican nomination. You'll remember Jeb Bush, right? You'll remember all the people who were running for president, Rick Perry, Rand Paul, all these people running against Donald Trump, Marco Rubio, little Marco, right? It took Donald Trump a much longer period of time to clinch the nomination. When he did so, he had a tweet that he posted. And in that tweet was not some political statement, was not some photo of him with a trophy, or photo of him taken by a professional photographer, standing with sunset behind him. Was not some type of thought through PR mechanized strategy from the biggest consulting firms in DC. He just posted a photo of fried chicken. That's it. He posted a photo that was clearly taken by an iPhone in bad lighting with KFC. He had a big fat one in front of him. Big old, look at that bucket. It looks like he's already eaten a couple pieces. He had a bucket of fried chicken. He had some gravy and some potatoes, it looks like there. He has what looks like plastic silverware. And he's eaten fried chicken on the newspaper. The Wall Street Journal copy, of Wall Street Journal right there. And Donald Trump posted this as a celebration for winning the Republican nomination in 2016. We don't deserve the guy. We don't deserve it. You want to know? Well, and look at that smile. Dude, he's really happy to be eating this fried chicken. He was really happy about this. This was Donald Trump was thrilled to be eating this fried chicken. It's really kind of grainy photo. Give me a higher quality photo of that. It's like grainy. Where we ripped this from? Is this from his original tweet? His original tweet's got to be up. It'd actually be interesting to go back and see, what did he say? Ladies and gentlemen, this is why people love Trump. When Hillary Clinton did or said anything on the campaign trail, it had gone through 50 consultancy firms, 50 PR firms. She was somebody who created these extremely cringe moments, like Pokemon go to the polls, right? Remember when she barked like a dog for some reason? She barked randomly on the campaign trail because somebody told her that'd be cute. Joe Biden tells voters they're not black. We'll get to that. Believe that. These are the kind of things that make you love Trump, because it's the kind of thing that make Trump real. These are the kind of things that make you say, wow, this is actually literally a real person. And I eat fried chicken too, because I'm an American and I'm a human, and fried chicken's delicious. Maybe not good for you, but it's really tasty. And it makes people love them. There's this phenomenon where people go, that's me. That's me. That reminds me of me right there. And so here we are, ladies and gentlemen. The moment where Donald Trump used fried chicken to announce that he was your nominee for president. In fact, little did we all know, this was Donald Trump announcing he'll be our next president, and using the magic that is Trump. The magic that is Trump is I can take my billionaire butt and I can make it relatable. I can relate with you. I can do politics better than any of these prefab cardboard jackasses because I actually care about you. Now, you talk to the people that worked with Donald Trump. You talk to the people that, like, at his properties, as we do, the construction workers, the union guys. You talk with all these people and you see that that's real. That's not fake. You see Donald Trump behind the scenes, as we have on his plane. We've flown on his plane. I've sat in that seat with Donald Trump eating that chicken. This is the exact seat where Donald Trump was eating the chicken. We flew on Trump's plane with him, and Trump brought us McDonald's. I'm not sure if we have the clip yet. Yeah? Okay. We'll play a little taste of this. See what I did there? Donald Trump brought us McDonald's. The first thing that happened when I sat down is Trump goes, "We got like a full McDonald's here. What do you want? We even got sausage. You want sausage?" And lo and behold, I had chicken. I had fried chicken nugget. That's what I ate. I ate fried chicken nugget. Here's the original. Oh, this is the original KFC post, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. There we go. That's high quality. What does he say? Yeah. There you go. So you can see here, ladies and gentlemen, that Donald Trump is the master at simply relating with people. He related with me. Now, I pretend to be his best friend, all right? It's been awesome the times we've gotten to hang out with Trump. It's been amazing. And it's really a fascinating perspective to see behind the wall because there were no video cameras allowed here. So Trump wasn't doing this. When he offered me McDonald's, he wasn't doing this for the cameras. He did this because he was like, wanted to give me McDonald's. And Donald Trump sat there with fries and munched them while we were doing an interview. It was awesome. This is part of that. It's one of my favorite memories of my life. Certainly.
I promise you can never son that. I pray for it. Get ready for the comeback. Yeah.
Okay, so the first thing that happens when you get on Trump Force One is you have a little name placard for your seat. You sit down inside of these seats, which are super dope. They go all the way back. Oh, and it is so nice. Look at that. I am 6'1" and I can't even touch the seat in front of me. You can lay all the way back. The other thing, gold. The cup holders are gold. The seat belts are gold. The nozzle, the air nozzle right there, that is gold. Haven't been in the bathrooms yet, but I'm sure there's plenty of gold.
So we are officially taking off in Trump Force One. We just had a wild rally in Ohio. Taking off right now.
Incredibly luxurious. It's great. So the seating is better than any first class you've ever been in. I don't care if you're going lay flat to Honolulu. This is it.
As soon as you get onto Donald Trump's plane, you really realize this ain't your normal commercial aircraft. Everything is, of course, luxurious. There is mahogany wood, there is gold finishings. You can get food on Donald Trump's plane, you can get drinks on Donald Trump's plane, and you can hang out with Donald Trump on Donald Trump's plane. Donald Trump invited us to his area of the plane, which this plane is just gigantic, and we were able to chill with the president for about an hour and a half. It was amazing. The conversation was wide-ranging. It was a great ride. Donald Trump also has great taste in music. And Donald Trump allowed us to film his plane saying, just make sure that it looks good. And ladies and gentlemen, it's hard to make this plane look bad.
So, again, maybe I'm a cheap date. You can bribe me. You can bribe me with some chicken nuggets from McDonald's. But it's because of this experience that I feel like I was there yesterday. I wasn't. I wasn't in Georgia yesterday. Donald Trump landed in Fulton County. Fulton County, of course, the county that we've been playing, and we've been playing this clip till kingdom come. We've played you this clip again and again and again of how Donald Trump was treated in Fulton County after his mugshot. We've played it for you before. And so there's two things that obviously we're aligning here. One, we're the only news channel on earth that actually plays this clip. I don't know why nobody seizes on this. This is Donald Trump traveling through Fulton County getting cheered after his mugshot. And the people of Fulton County going out of their houses to cheer for Trump. Screaming and jumping in the streets for Trump. Yes. Saying, free my boy Trump, Fanny done effed up. Do you hear that? Free Trump.
I'm talking about they got everybody.
Okay. At what point do you start to say something's... Wait a second. Something in the narrative is off here. And then we see yesterday, ladies and gentlemen. You see yesterday Donald Trump walking into Chick-Fil-A. And you actually are able to understand the full picture here. Now, again, we feel like we know what's going on here because Donald Trump's offered us fast food before, and it's such a magnanimous and interesting situation to be in, and it's heartwarming, frankly. But then we've also shown you the love that Donald Trump has in places like Fulton County, which are one of the most depressed and crime-ridden places in the country. And so this didn't actually shock us necessarily, although we were taken aback by the sheer amount of love and adoration that Trump got in this Chick-fil-A. So let's begin. Why is this important? This is important because this is called campaigning. Trump's superpower is that people like him. I know this sounds crazy, but in a world of like fabricated candidates and fake candidates, fake polls, and a entirely fake Fugazi universe, Donald Trump is the real, authentic McCoy. He can walk into a Chick-fil-A that he's never been in Atlanta, with people that he, I don't know, shares no background with. Or maybe he does. He can just relate with them instantly. It is a superpower. Here's how it worked yesterday in Atlanta. We're going to play you sort of like the uncut version of what Trump did because every emotion he did was caught on camera. Here's the first 2 minutes of the guy walking into Chick-fil-A. And it's utterly remarkable.
Look at the way you like each other, right?
Reverse, please. I want to go back. Oh.
Look at the way you hold. You like each other, right? That's right. I think that's very nice. Have a good time. Nice to see you. Thank you very much. So we'll order 30 milkshakes. We'll give them out to the people, and we'll take some for ourselves. Okay? Good. Thank you very much, everybody. Hello.
This has got a great American franchise, Chick-fil-A.
It is. It's a great franchise. The owner is a great man who's a member of one of my clubs, and he's fantastic. And
bigger, please.
Yeah, they do very well. They're closed on Sunday.
The Lord's Chicken.
That's the Lord's Chicken. You're right. It's good chicken too.
Yeah, good to see you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. Get ready for a milkshake. You got plenty of them.
All right.
You got some good-looking guys. Huh?
This is an original from 2016.
Oh, I love this guy. I like that guy. Do you have a pen for me? Give me a good pen. That is the original, huh?
From 2016, Cleveland.
You've been there from the beginning.
Absolutely. From the invention.
You knew what was happening.
Absolutely.
You got it. That's cool, man. What's your name?
Lawrence.
Come here, Lawrence. Let me get this pen out of here. Come here. Thank you.
It's a pleasure.
Really nice.
It's a pleasure. Yes, sir.
He understood long before the rest, right?
Mr. Trump, Shelley Winter.
Hi, Shelley.
I talked to you yesterday.
Good. You are fantastic.
Thank you, brother.
You know Shelley?
Yes.
A great host. And are you guys
Radio
friends
show.
or
No,
something?
just via Sanjay,
Well, that's
BCI.
nice because he's been there a long time too. I think right from the beginning.
Right from the beginning.
We did a radio interview with Shelley yesterday, and I appreciate it.
I appreciate you very much.
I hung up. I said, "What a nice guy that is."
And I'll bring in my clubs tomorrow.
You let me know. I'm telling you. You let me know,
Thank
Shelley.
you, brother. Thank you. God
Please
bless you.
watch his show. His show is great. Listen to his show.
Absolutely, 95.5.
He got it.
Yeah.
You two guys got it. Huh?
And all these kids do too.
I think so. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. So you're getting lots of milkshakes. Look at that handsome guy. I wish I had like him. Right here?
Oh yeah, me.
Hi, fellas. Thank you. Nice to see you. Nice to see everybody.
It just makes you laugh. Okay. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to show you the actual walk-in here. That's something that clip didn't capture.
Good-looking people. Wow. That was worth it. And I love doing what you have.
Look at him. Look at him. Joe, talk about the nose ring. You talk about the lady's nose ring.
So can I have 30 milkshakes?
Can I have 30 milkshakes?
And also some chicken. And we're going to take care of the customers. Is business good? You're making a lot of money? Everybody get rich, right? Thank you very much. Look at the way you hold. You like each other, right? I think that's very nice. Have a good time. Nice to see you. Thank you very much. So we'll order 30 milkshakes. We'll give them out to the people, and we'll take some for ourselves. Okay?
So,
Thank you very much, everybody.
this is the superpower.
Hello.
So, the superpower is that Trump knows that he's, and I've thought about this a lot because we've been in rooms with Trump quite a bit. And the superpower is that Trump knows that he is the most powerful, biggest guy in every single room. And he carries that celebrity, that worldwide celebrity, right? He is the most famous man, right? Man, just mortal, that you could argue ever lived, right? There's an argument for that. He's bigger than Elvis. Elvis never had the nuclear codes. Elvis had to be deputized by Nixon, right? In some ridiculous photo op. He's bigger than Beatles combined. All four of them combined. Beatles never ran for office. They never had any power. They never had a standing army. Donald Trump had all of those things. The Beatles never had like the national secrets at their disposal. Yeah, Donald Trump's bigger than all of that. So Donald Trump is aware of that. And so then when Donald Trump walks in, give me like a good photo of him like with the staff there. When Donald Trump walks in and sees like somebody who's just like there working at a Chick-Fil-A, like an hourly job, and he's nice to you, and he asks you questions. You can just play the first clip. And he asks you questions, and like, look at the girls laugh. Look at them break into laughter here. Go back 2 seconds. Watch Trump make a joke about what the girls are wearing.
You like each other, right? I think that's
Look at him.
nice.
Look at it. Look. Like, that's Trump's superpower right there. Boom. That's it. That's it. He's where the people live. He's where the people are. And then he's taking, like, this moment, he as one of the most powerful men on earth, taking this moment to, like, make them, look at the smiles. Zoom in. Look at the smiles. Look at the faces. Look at those those are authentic smiles. Nobody ever smiles like that at Joe Biden. Joe Biden elicits depression in people and fear in children, which is always a sign, by the way. Always a sign when the children run screaming from you. That's not a joke. I mean, we have clip after clip after clip of like the children freaking out around Joe Biden. This evil, blackened, darkened energy around Joe Biden. And the children can sense that. Little children can sense that kind of stuff, and they run away. They scream, they cry. There are lots of clips of that. Joe Biden elicits depression in people. You're depressed after watching him. Donald Trump elicits this. Look at that expression on these three girls' face. All four of them. Look at these four girls. Look at the expressions on their face. They're legitimately entertained. They find this funny. Maybe they're not Trump voters. Maybe they've never even liked a Republican in their life, but they're legitimately in awe. They're taken by him because Trump is like funny. And see those two girls with the bows on? They have the pink bow and the black bow. Trump makes a joke about their fashion and says that they like each other and they're best friends. And they burst into laughter, authentic, real laughter.
You like each other, right? I think that's very nice.
So you laugh looking at it because it's actually like really it's heartwarming. It's a beautiful thing. It's how retail politics used to be in this country. It's how things used to be. And it's nice. It's nice to see. It's legitimate. Like it's what a politician should inspire in people. And Trump does it. Trump gives people hope. What you're seeing there is hope. Joe Biden gives them depression. Nobody's ever been inspired listening to Joe Biden. They've been scared and worried and depressed. And we can prove it. And Donald Trump inspires hope. And that's the difference. Donald Trump saying that it's the Lord's chicken, that it's Jesus' chicken. I mean, because of course, ladies and gentlemen.
He's got a great great American franchise, Chick-Fil-A. It is. It's a great franchise. The owner is a great man who is a member of one of my clubs, and he's fantastic. And yeah, they do very well. They're closed on Sunday.
The Lord's Chicken.
That's the Lord's Chicken. You're right. It's good chicken too.
Yeah, good to see you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
He even uses the slogans and terminology that we use, right? Calling it the Lord's Chicken. It wasn't just the staff at Chick-fil-A. It was also, of course, the patrons. Now, as far as we know, there was simply a group of people eating at Chick-fil-A. As far as we know, there was a group of people eating at Chick-fil-A and Donald Trump stops in. Okay? And that's the best we know. And there's a considerable amount of evidence online that that's the case. Yet here we are with Donald Trump standing there facing what to us looks like an entire group of black patrons from the predominantly majority minority Fulton County, Atlanta area. And one of those patrons is a woman who screams, "Don't believe the media. We all love you." Have you ever heard anybody react like that to Joe Biden? Ever. Ever. In the biggest, most prefab, most inauthentic, most programmed, they paid the actors, right? They paid people to like Joe Biden. They paid people to stand in front. Have you ever seen anybody respond like that to Joe Biden? Watch this.
I don't care what the media tells you, Mr. Trump. We support you. We support you, man. Okay, 4 p.m. We've been 4 p.m.
Come here, let me give you a
They will never show you this. They'll never show you this because they don't understand it. They don't get it. This breaks the liberal brain. This breaks their minds. They can't comprehend it, so they'll try and hide it from you, censor it from you. And we got 11,000 retweets and 52,000 likes on this. They don't understand because they're part of the machine. They're part of the propaganda apparatus. But us who live outside of the matrix, we understand. Donald Trump gives people hope. It's authentic, it's real, and it's powerful because he kind of lives and interacts like we do. He makes potty mouth jokes. He is funny. He has off-color commentary. He has moments of indulgence, right? And he kind of lives this mortal life that we all live. He is not a creation of the swamp or of DC public relation firms. And so this is why this photo is so powerful. Donald Trump gives people hope. Joe Biden gives people depression. Donald Trump also engaging in some of the most fascinating retail politics that we've seen in a long time, posing with photos because there was a long selfie line of the patrons, some of them with face tattoos and, whatever, posing with Donald Trump because who don't want a selfie with Donald Trump? Show me a person that wants a selfie with Joe Biden. Nobody wants a selfie with Joe Biden. The selfies with Joe Biden's always turn out bad. It always looks like somebody's wearing a rubber skin suit. It never looks like you're taking a photo with a real person. There are so many wax figures at Madame Tussauds that look way more human than Joe Biden. Nobody's ever wanted a selfie with Joe Biden. Everyone wants a selfie with Trump. And so while Trump was handing out selfies, he engaged in some excellent retail politics like this.
Yeah, can my friend Dom get in one too? She's fundraising.
Come on in. We're going to get rid of Biden.
Bye,
He is the worst president in the history of the United States, and he's horrible to the black community. Whether you like it or not, he
Been that way
treats the
since a
black
senator.
community bad. And check out his record in the 1990s. Check out his record in the 1990s.
You're economically what's for us. Yes.
Well, opportunities.
Opportunity-wise, everything holistic.
Best job numbers ever.
The First Step Act. Let's talk about it.
And again, the colleges and universities. I used to get the whole thing now.
Yeah. I got you.
Can I get one?
Oh, maybe some people would say, that's a plant. Somebody planted that person. Well, somebody plant this person in the cafeteria of Chick-fil-A in the middle of the day? Is this a Donald Trump campaign plant? Just asking questions here.
Do you like Donald Trump?
Yeah, we love Donald Trump.
You do?
Yeah, I love Donald Trump. How you doing, man? That's the president, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, probably the toothless guy who, I don't know, may or may not be homeless. I don't know. But the guy who has one tooth, probably not a plant for the campaign. That guy who's sitting there eating his Chick-Fil-A quietly and Trump walks in and he's like, I love Donald Trump. Not a plant. Okay? It's really interesting. And it's quite fascinating seeing this type of retail campaigning. It's something that Donald Trump is obviously spectacular at. And he gets his punches in, too. Donald Trump's commentary on the way out was really, really spicy against Hillary Clinton. Donald Trump decided to, after a good day of retail campaigning at Chick-fil-A, decided to just gloves off, go at Hillary. Here we go.
Hillary had more than twice the money that we had. And how did that race turn out? I'm not 100% sure.
Trump asked about cash on hand. Biden has more cash on hand, even though Donald Trump raised $15 million yesterday. And Donald Trump making the jokes. How'd that election against Hillary go? Anybody? Donald Trump is not running against Hillary any longer. Donald Trump is running against a machine that Hillary Clinton is a part of, and that machine is propping up a old, diseased, barely functional, very, very low level of like physical activity and brain activity man who has a very, very, very subtle, very, very low wavelength, okay? Joe Biden was given an opportunity to do what Donald Trump did yesterday. To eat fried chicken, I guess, if you want to just like make that a category of campaigning. This is Joe Biden's version of what Donald Trump did yesterday. Okay, let's go.
Oh man, you got chicken fingers, you got I want the root of making sure I had the hamburger. So tell me about you guys. What you doing these days?
I'm playing AAU basketball right now.
Are you really? Are you guard?
Yes, sir.
I want the option of getting the burger. You got the whole deal. The chicken fingers. Can you lick my fingers, you little man? You ain't black, huh? What? Where am I? Huh? It's remarkable, the differences. And it's being seen, it's obviously something that people are picking up on. It's really incredible when you look at the polls of young people who gravitate to energy like this far more than old people do. Young people are breaking for Trump in historic margins. And it's moments like these that obviously get full blackout on media. They would never play you these clips because this actually demonstrates who's functional and who is just a piece of propaganda from the machine. Biden at a diner in Michigan. Let's play this. I've asked for some painful clips of Joe Biden. Let's go.
Voting blocks coming to play here and really coming into clear focus as he again comes here to this state of Michigan to capitalize on that UAW endorsement that we saw last week. So we'll see what kinds of conversations he has with these members. We are told that it is meant to be more of an informal setting. He's not going to be giving.
This is the meme. The meme is Joe Biden staring at a diner patron. This was from the 2020 campaign. A Joe Biden who has as much hair as he could possibly shove surgically into his head. Joe Biden's been bald as a bat since the 1970s. He gets hair implants. I'm not sure what other implants he gets. And the customer at the diner, absolute legend, just staring at the game. Just watching wrestling. This is in Iowa. This is in Sioux City, Iowa. I know these people very well. Just farmer, pig farmer, hog farmer, just staring at the game. just watching wrestling. And Joe Biden, like not even acknowledging Joe Biden's existence. This is the difference. This photo versus the photo of Donald Trump in the Chick-fil-A. Can you find the difference? Can you spot the difference? This versus Donald Trump. Yeah. So, let's see. Awkward Biden with T. I don't really know what this is. I've asked my production team to find me awkward videos of Joe Biden campaigning. Let's go with this one.
Donald Trump is ready to debate you right now. Do you accept?
He just said that on radio.
Pardon?
What he's going to immediately.
Immediately?
Yes.
Will you debate him?
If I were him, I'd want to debate me too.
Huh? Like, Biden tries to do this kind of stuff, but it just doesn't work. It fails miserably because he's not a human being. He hasn't had a pulse in a long time. He is a creation. There's nothing authentic about Joe Biden. There's nothing real about Joe Biden. Also, to be able to relate with people, you have to be able to speak the English language. And when Joe Biden visited a brewery, he proved that he couldn't.
The beer brewed here, it is used to make the brew beer in this refinery. Oh, Earth Rider, thanks for the Great Lakes. I wonder why he's trying.
Earth Rider, thanks for the Great Lakes. They know that this is something that is so damaging to Joe Biden. This is retail politics. You'll never be able to get over the it factor. It's the it factor that won Kennedy over Nixon. It's the it factor, obviously, with Dwight Eisenhower, with Ronald Reagan. The it factor. Who would you rather have a beer with? Who would you rather have a beer with? That's the factor. And you can't manufacture it. All of the consultant firms, all the Jen Psaki's of the world, and all of the fawning media coverage, nothing can manufacture that. You cannot recreate it. It does not come out of a lab. You either got it or you don't. And so in these moments where Donald Trump's clearly got it, it's really interesting to see how the media reacts. Donald Trump, much like Fulton County, had to face federal prosecution in Miami. And at the tail end of Donald Trump going to court and facing the charges that the feds brought against him for doing exactly what they let Joe Biden off the hook for, Donald Trump decided to take his motorcade. This was being covered wall to wall, helicopters following the motorcade, right? Every movement of Donald Trump was being followed. CNN was taking it live. Took his motorcade and stopped in at a bakery in Miami. I think it was his birthday. Everyone was singing happy birthday, or perhaps it was the birthday of somebody there. I'm not sure. ALX, can we confirm that? ALX or Robbie, can we confirm that? But this is the panic that CNN had when they were showing a moment like this live. They screamed. They legitimately screamed live on air and cried live on air. And what do we do with crying lips? We salt them. Our salt of the day, ladies and gentlemen, for our sweet friends at CNN, Donald Trump, after being charged with federal crime, stopping in at a bakery to shake hands, crack jokes, and to sing songs. CNN's reaction. So salty. Salt that lid.
National security laws and then obstructing and refusing to cooperate with the FBI.
Yeah, whatever this spectacle is that's unfolding before us, let's remember what this case is about. Let's remember what this indictment charges. Again, Donald Trump is charged with a series of federal felonies for mishandling the most sensitive government documents that we have and for obstruction of justice, along with Walt Nauta, who is charged with intentionally setting up lies to the grand jury, to the FBI. Any way you look at this, and again, despite whatever may be going on in that restaurant, this case isn't going to be settled legally in a cafe. It's going to be settled in the court based on the facts and law.
The folks in the control room, I don't need to see any more of that. He's trying to turn this in. He's trying to turn it into a spectacle, into a campaign ad. That's enough of that. We've seen it already. Let's go over again the 37 charges that Donald Trump is facing right.
Folks in the control room, we don't need to see that anymore. We don't need to see that. Donald Trump, he's just living a happy,
joy-filled life with his supporters and people who love him, singing happy birthday, eating some baked snacks, having a good time. We don't need to see that. We need the cretinous, angry crucible of pain in which we all live. Okay? Amazing. Donald Trump really appreciates a birthday, a good birthday here and there. One of our producers, Danny DiRubina, was actually stopped by Donald Trump on his birthday. This is a great example. We obviously talked about flying on the plane with Trump. It's a great example of the kind of guy Trump is. Here's Danny, excellent producer for our program, getting stopped by Donald Trump, saying happy birthday. This was Danny having his birthday dinner, and it's pretty neat, ladies and gentlemen. There it is. What a guy, right? What a guy. And no word yet. I think this is a steakhouse. No word yet on what Danny had for dinner, although Danny has great taste. Donald Trump has been doing this all over the country, obviously doing this in some of the toughest parts of the country. Like, he used McDonald's in East Palestine. We do this as a play-beside just really quickly. Do we have it or no? Yeah. So he, in East Palestine, he went to the McDonald's, right? And like spoke with these people, bought McDonald's for everybody.
So I know
Like,
this menu better
like-
than you do. I probably know it better than anybody in here. We're going to take care of the fire department.
All right.
We're going to take care of
He's done it at the White House when they had closed the White House kitchen for a government shutdown or something, and he had all this fast food brought into the White House, and the iconic photo right here with Donald Trump. Do you have the iconic image? That's my president, ladies and gentlemen. He's done this all across the country. I mean, listen, man, you gotta nourish the body and the soul. Somebody who, well, has very, very good taste, and somebody who is clearly someone who Donald Trump likes having for dinner. We follow her on Instagram. She's regularly having dinner with Donald Trump. Maybe you could talk to us a little bit about that. Is the excellent and ever forward-charging Congresswoman from Florida, Anna Paulina Luna, joining the show now. Congresswoman, thank you so much for being on the program. We're having like a full Donald Trump fast food show here based on what he did at Chick-Fil-A yesterday. Sort of presenting the differences between him and Joe Biden and their style of campaigning. Donald Trump brings people hope, and Joe Biden brings people depression. Do you agree?
I agree. And frankly, it's funny to hear the commentary from CNN. Whatever this spectacle is, that's actually called grassroots campaigning, and that makes up how you win an election, which is why he's going to win.
So it's really charming. It's really charming to like buy somebody some fried chicken, right? Or buy somebody some food. It's a nice thing to do. And you can see the photos you can see this photo here, the faces on the workers at Chick-Fil-A, and they're taken by Donald Trump. And they're probably not supposed to be. They're probably not in a district that Donald Trump would ever win. But there is clearly eliciting joy from them. And Donald Trump, knowing that he's one of the biggest celebrities in the world, one of the most powerful men in the world, is using that to like bring happiness to somebody's life, like an hourly worker at Chick-fil-A's life. And this is something I think that is really neat and precious, and we should like appreciate and celebrate on the campaign trail.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people don't know this about him, but he is actually super humble, and I mean that. I mean, I can probably name a few occasions, but one that kind of sticks out in particular is some of the Florida members that had endorsed him early on were at dinner with him at Mar-a-Lago, and we'd all ordered dessert, and another member, it was actually Byron Donalds, I guess he had wanted some ice cream, and Trump had all of his ice cream sundae, and so Trump was like, here, why don't you have some ice? So he like literally takes some of his ice cream, like spoons it out onto Byron's plate, and I'm just cracking up because like, how many presidents of all people, do you ever see doing that? And then obviously, when we were coming back from the Iowa State Fair, Trump loves McDonald's, but he also happens to love Fanta. And so I was talking to him about Jarritos and Fanta and the difference, but yeah, he's a really cool guy, and I think that that's just a show of how humble he is. But I think it's also a testament. I mean, his kids are humble too, so they're just good people.
So we are facing quite a buffet in Congress, some real junk food that is being pushed, I guess, on the Republican caucus right now over FISA. This seems to be the battle du jour. And the procedural vote yesterday for the rules was killed. And I've been briefed on this. It seems like an interesting way to sort of carve up this very sticky issue. From my perspective, this is obviously how they were able to spy on Trump and spy on Americans. And there should just kind of be a hard rule against that since we have a constitution in this country. What was your take yesterday? What's the path moving forward?
So to sum it up, yeah, we basically, the group of 18 of us prevented the actual legislation from passing. And we basically, it's called killing it on the floor. So we prevented it from even coming to a vote. You are right. This legislation written as is the reason why President Trump was spied on by the Obama holdover administration, Hillary Clinton, and why Joe Biden is currently able to spy on his political enemies, aka every single conservative, Republican, and or probably Christian in this country. And so what I will say is that we cannot allow it to come to another vote unless they're willing to allow for amendments for there to be a warrant. Pretty simple. If you want to gain access to someone's information, you have to have a warrant for it. So no warrant, no fire. So what I am hearing, Benny, and this is just kind of an update on negotiations, but we're hearing it's going to come back up next week with the ability to get a warrant passed. And frankly, if we have the ability to extend with warrant and then allow President Trump, once he's reelected to office, to basically not blockade the full adjustments that we want to make to FISA, I think that that's the best case scenario.
So I don't even understand why this is remotely a controversial issue. Why Democrats are siding with you on this, maybe for the wrong reasons, but obviously they're siding with you on this. Everyone should be for the Fourth Amendment.
I think what it is that the intelligence community has really scared a majority of members in office into thinking that if we don't pass this, that somehow it's going to hurt Americans. But the fact is that you saw, and to Representative Massey's credit, he actually put out there, and we reposted it on our socials. But, they created a carve out for members of Congress to be notified by the FBI if we're under surveillance. But, rules for us do not apply, according to them, to the masses. And that's a problem, is that everyone should have that Fourth Amendment. And so we're doing everything that we can to stop it. But, I think you've realized, Benny, that unfortunately, there are a lot of people that think that if they don't take this vote, that they might not get reelected. And you can't go into this job with that mindset.
So do you think that members of Congress get spied on through these loopholes?
Yes, 100%. In fact, I'm quite confident in some capacity that I'm sure I'm on a list. I think that the administration has made it very evident that they believe that if you are Christian, if you are Republican, if you're conservative, if you say the words shall not be infringed, if you believe in the Constitution, that you're likely a domestic terrorist.
We know for a fact that our friend and ally Tucker Carlson on this issue has been spied on. That's demonstrably true. They have the documents to prove it. The NSA has admitted it. And they were spying on Tucker Carlson to curtail his journalism. And why wouldn't they do that? Why wouldn't they turn that on members of Congress? How naive is Congress? I mean, are they compromised? I don't understand. I just don't understand. Like, why would you allow this to happen? You're the first article of the Constitution. You're in charge of these people.
I think it's interesting because, again, you've seen that ever since we passed, ever since they passed the Patriot Act, ultimately what ended up happening is there's been this massive expansion of their surveillance state. And it even goes back into, Kennedy's era. But the fact is that you are right. We're supposed to be serving as a check and balance. And it's interesting because you have the intelligence community, you have the chairman, Turner, who I typically don't have issues with. But he goes on television and says that, somehow the GOP's been infected by Russian propagandists, which is insane because now if you don't support Ukraine or you don't support a foreign intervention, of which we should have nothing to do with, somehow you are now an agent of that country, which is absolutely absurd. So I think that, we as a conference are having an identity crisis. You're seeing a lot of people that are retiring and leaving because they just don't want to deal with it, which is, I would say, actually a great opportunity for red-blooded Americans to get elected. And you're seeing President Trump is winning in a lot of these elections moving forward. So I'm hopeful for the next Congress that we hold it, but that we also have a change in the ideologies here that exist in Washington, D.C.
So this is what's really important to me, and a very important question that I've been sort of hunting down behind the scenes. So they bring you into these skiffs, right? And they try and scare the shit out of you by saying that there's going to be some horrible attack. pardon my language, but right, little haunted horrors, smoke and mirrors, haunted mansion kind of thing, where they say something really bad is going to happen if we're not allowed to spy on Americans and violate all of our rights. Yet, as far as I can tell with my sourcing, and I don't mean to put you on the spot here, but as far as I can tell, there's never been a skiff created by the intelligence community to talk about our open border. Nobody's ever gone and done a briefing about the number of terrorists, when there are thousands of them, who have tried to, successfully or unsuccessfully, cross into our nation and said the open border is a threat to a threat to our nation, an intelligence threat. Has that ever happened? Can you confirm that?
So we can do private meetings. So actually myself and Representative Ogle just stood up the Counterterrorism Caucus. And so I'm actually one of the co-chairwomen of that organization. So we are going to be doing that stuff. But to answer your question in general, it seems that there has been definitely proof that they had an orchestrated leakage of what information was discussed in a skiff in an attempt to persuade the arguments on why we should vote for FISA, and that's obviously unacceptable.
So everyone wants the American homeland to be secure, obviously, and that's the sort of seems to be like the predicate for getting FISA passed. But the real problem is the open border allowing terrorists to come into the country, right? They're concerned that terrorists are in the country. Christopher Wray, where am I getting a lot of this? Christopher Wray testifies about this all the time. And he says, I'm really concerned about terrorism in the country. And that's okay. Fine. Me too. But nobody ever goes back to the root cause and says this open border is why we have terrorists in the country. We need to close the border. When are the intel agencies going to declare that we must close the border?
I agree. We're also seeing that under the Department of Homeland Security, there was CISA, which was stood up to actually monitor counterterrorism, and ultimately that was also weaponized again and was exploited by Twitter 1.0 and these different tech companies to suppress information on election integrity and moving out of the 2020 election. So I agree with you. I think that, they are absolutely doing this for a reason. It's not in the best interest of the American people, and any member of Congress that will tell you that you need to just accept that FISA should be voted on as is not being fully honest with you, because it is absolutely setting up the ability for the U.S. government to spy on you.
Yeah, and spy on members of Congress. I mean, you don't have a free country. It's not a democracy, right? If that's the case, it's just we're going to block it as long as we can, and we're hoping that they allow for an amendment for a warrant, which would force these intelligence agencies to have to go to the courts and actually get a warrant in order to surveil, which means they have to have probable cause. Isn't it amazing? It's remarkable. Whether it's insider trading, the January 6th committee, whether it's FISA, if you're a member of Congress, if you're a member of the privileged class, you don't get to be spied on, right? Or they have to ask permission to spy on you. But if you're the rest of us, it's amazing the more you see how DC works. God bless you for being a light up there, Congresswoman. Sincerely, 430,000 people cannot be wrong. Everybody go and follow the great Congresswoman from right around the corner in Pinellas County.
Thanks, Benny.
Godspeed. Boys, I'm going to ask for something. And before we move off this fast food topic, got to have that meme from yesterday. The meme of the guy with the milkshake. Jerry, do you have that available? We got to play that. We got to play that in the show. We are going to move on to another topic here, but we got to have that in the show. I want it. Definitely want it in the show. So yesterday, speaking of like cringe fests at the White House, all throughout the White House, which is a common cringe fest daily, Joe Biden held a joint dinner with the Japanese Prime Minister, and well, it was weird. Okay, it was just straight up weird. First, let's start with Hillary Clinton's dress. Don't know what this is, but to me, it sure as hell looks like cultural appropriation. This dress, it's the tweet, Royce. This dress is what do you make of this? Is she coming for Joe Biden? Like she sees the dresses that Joe Biden wears? And she says, well, lady, you got up your shower curtain game. People often say they want a big tent party. Is Hillary Clinton trying to be that big tent? Is this clear cultural appropriation? What's going on here? I thought my culture is not your costume. Isn't that like something that libs say? Don't know. This is Bill and Hillary wobbling into the event.
Great, especially for this.
Who's going to win the election?
Great friends.
How are you guys feeling about 2024?
Oh, we're having a good time tonight.
Who's going to win the election?
Thank you.
Mr. President, who's going to win the election? How do you feel?
Thank you all.
Well, you know who I think's going to win.
What do you think about the invasion? Thank you, sir.
Who's your dress by?
I think that her dress is the leftover material from the Chinese spy balloon. I don't know. Seems like it would be about approximately that size. That is a monster. That is a monster dress. For the first time ever, I agree with the reporting class at the White House. Hey, Hillary, what are you wearing? What is that exactly? Not sure. Not sure what Joe Biden said either. Ladies and gentlemen, here's our Joe Biden health update for the day. Joe Biden unable to speak the English language. I don't think we were able to put a bouncing ball on this one just yet. But here is our Joe Biden health update. Joe Biden slurring his words at this very important state dinner.
Well, we are the same, Japan and the United States. We may be divided by distance, but generations after generation, we've been brought together, the same hopes, the same values, the same commitment to democracy and freedom, and to dignity for all.
It's so painful. Joe Biden tried to cheers the guy and he didn't have a glass?
And committed to building a future worthy of the highest hopes and that of our predecessors and our people have dreamed of. Ladies and gentlemen, so please join me in raising your glass, and I don't have a glass. There you go. You have one for the Prime Minister? Thank you.
So, the same day that Donald Trump is charming hearts at Chick-Fil-A and taking selfies and getting huge hugs from people who love him is the same day that Joe Biden's like, bring me a glass! I wish for where is my cupbearer? No word on if Kamala Harris was at the dinner. They don't really like each other. Kamala Harris is doing her best weird impression of a human being. It's not really going over well. This is the same Kamala Harris that assured us that Joe Biden is very much alive. That's an exact quote when asked about Joe Biden's chances. Joe Biden's very much alive. Here's Kamala Harris back for more cringe.
It's important to see that, the nature of democracy, there's a duality to it. It has two sides to it. On the one hand, there's incredible strength, right? That when a democracy is intact, what it does for its people, in terms of the strength it gives its people and protects in terms of individual freedoms and rights, right? And liberties. There's an incredible strength in that, what it does for its people when it is intact. On the other hand, democracy, extraordinarily fragile.
Yeah.
It's only as strong as our willingness to fight for it. That's by nature what a democracy is. It is about the people.
Okay. Kamala Harris barking, talking about how Donald Trump's no longer a dog whistle, it's a bark. Got it? Trump wants to be a dictator. What would a dictator do? He'd throw his political enemies in prison. He'd persecute the supporters of his political enemies. He'd clamp down on free speech. He'd arrest everybody who didn't like him. Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. It's Uno Reverse Day. It's actually me. Which is the, effectively this Kamala Harris clip. Here you go. Nuclear cringe.
Right now, Donald Trump is telling us that he wants to be a dictator. And if we've learned one thing about this man, believe him.
Yeah.
Believe how crazy he is, because he telegraphs it.
That's exactly right.
He tells you. There's no hoodwinking.
Exactly right.
He tells you. over and over again, and on True Social at 3 a.m. and Cap Locks, and then the next
Misspelled.
morning on Newsmax. I mean, it's
There's no
nonstop.
whisper. There is no dog whistle. It is like a gigantic bark.
I don't think it's hyperbolic to say this genuinely could be the last Democratic election we ever have.
You're right.
Listen to what he says. He's telling you dictators aren't a dictator for one day, and then it's let the people decide.
Who are these people? Is this the best the left has when it comes to podcasting? Like, really? A bunch of Chardonnay moms from the Upper East Side? What, like from like a couple Malibu moms whose like husbands, like, I don't know, work for Amazon? Like, who the hell are these ladies? What is this podcast? How much do they donate to get this cringe interview? And also, they keep talking about dogs. They already tried that. Hillary Clinton already did that routine. Trump's a dog, bark like a dog. Remember that time that Hillary Clinton barked like a dog? Why didn't people vote for Hillary? Why didn't people like Hillary? Oh, because she was barking like a dog. Really, literally.
And so, people were like barking at each other for days after that. I'm trying to figure out how we can do that with the Republicans. We need to get that dog and follow them around, and every time they say these things, like, the Great Recession was caused by too much regulation. I think we could cut right through a lot of their their claims.
I believe in God. I believe in our Savior. I believe in Jesus. And I'm deeply thankful that was the candidate in 2016. I'm just thankful. I'm thankful forever. I'm thankful forever. Not saying it was 100% providential, but, well, I'm reminded, ladies and gentlemen, of the prayer of Benjamin Franklin at the opening of the Constitutional Convention. How can nations rise without God's aid? If a sparrow cannot fall without his notice, how can nations rise without his aid? Ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate your aid. We appreciate you joining the Benny Brigade. Benny Brigade at BennyJohnson.com. You can join today for the price of a large fry at Chick-Fil-A, right? For the price of a shake at Chick-Fil-A. And we got a very special meme to end the show on. But first, our verse of the day, 1 Corinthians. Ladies and gentlemen, no temptation has overtaken you that is not common to man. God is faithful, and he will not let you be tempted beyond your abilities. But with the temptation, he will also provide the way of escape that you may be able to endure it. We can endure the current trials and tribulations of this country. Nations rise and fall. We don't want this nation to fall. We want this nation to be America first. We want this nation to rise. We are not here for the collapse. We are here for the salvation of this country. God is constant and will allow us to endure. He will not allow us to be overtaken by evil. March with us, ladies and gentlemen, to victory. It's your boy, Benny. Here's a very, very tasty Chick-fil-A meme just for you. See ya.
Ooh, that's nice. Let me mix you around a little bit, get that whipped cream up in it. That whipped cream is light and fluffy, air mattress style. I like it. Ooh, baby kicks, you know what I'm saying, in the pregnant stomach piece, just bow, the baby kicking. That's how the chocolate chips are kicking up.